Here you go, Len. All right, so Len, I'm going to unmute you. And you are now muted, so you can unmute your microphone so that you can speak to us, Len.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Hey, Len. How are you, mate?
I'm pretty good. Excellent.
That's the way, buddy. So those of you that don't know Len, just like Kathy, Len is one of our Amazon AOE coaches, and he coaches people through the Diamond program and also does product discovery sessions with Len. He's been getting some fantastic results with his clients. And we've got a great question for Len when Len's going to go through it. So let me quickly tell you what the question is. So this one's actually from Joel. And Joel says, what is the 3 most common mistakes that you see rookie Amazon sellers make? I thought it'd be really neat to get Len to answer that because I know he helps heaps and heaps of beginners and he's got tons of experience with this. So Len, all yours, buddy.
Okay, thanks, mate. Okay, so I think Joel's actually referring to non-AOE Amazon sellers, because of course everyone in AOE goes through the modules and listens to Neil every Monday night, and we don't have rookie mistakes here. So I'll assume it's non-AOE. So the first one would be buying into a niche with a low demand. So basically, I think this appeals because people might find products where they see there's not other products competing with it. But the key really is if there's not enough people searching for your product, then you can end up basically with inventory and tying up your cash and stuck with slow moving inventory. So it's important just to make sure that there's good demand in the niche that you're buying a product in. And the second is pretty much the opposite of that, buying into a niche that's just too competitive. And I think the attraction here is probably trying to buy a cheaper type product, but if you're not really looking at how competitive it is and how much sales your competitors are making, the plain fact of the matter is that they're probably making really big sales and buying at a price that's going to be much lower than you can get it. And quite likely you might think that you can be competitive with price for them, but the likelihood is that you've made some sort of an error in your costings, and you're going to have to spend way too much on advertising to try and sell your products against the big players. So I think those first two ones are probably a couple of the obvious mistakes that that people can make. So I thought I'd just try and come up with something for the third one that's maybe not so obvious. And what I'll talk about with the third one is a mistake about underestimating what it really takes to manage your PPC campaigns. Let's get a drink. Okay, so the PPC campaigns are pretty important because that's where you get your sales, particularly when you first start, and in and around your initial launch as well. But what they do is they get your sales, and that increases your rankings, and then that helps you to generate organic sales as well. So it's an important thing to remember that your PPC campaigns are helping you get organic sales. So they do a lot of good, but PPC campaigns isn't something you can really set and forget. So, for example, you might have auto campaigns that need to be monitored fairly regularly because Amazon really control the content of the auto campaigns with the search terms that it targets and the ASINs that it targets. So what you really need to be doing with those is creating negative keywords for search terms that are not working. You also need to be setting up your broad phrase and exact campaigns for keywords that are working, and also setting up your product campaigns for the ASINs that are working as well. And now you can also create negative ASINs for the ASINs that aren't working well for you. So that's with your auto campaign. And another thing to be thinking about with your auto campaigns is how long you're running the auto campaigns for as well, because ideally you're moving across to your keyword and ASIN targeted campaigns. So for those campaigns, you need to monitor the performance of those campaigns at the detail level, so at the individual keyword and ASIN level. So for example is, do you have a keyword that's making sales with a low ACOS? And ACOS is your advertising cost of sales. So that's your advertising cost divided by the total sales that are attributed to the PPC campaigns. So a rule of thumb is that that you probably want to keep that at around 30% or less. But what you also need to do is calculate also your total ACOS. So that is your advertising divided by your total sales, because remember that your PPC campaigns are also contributing to organic sales as well. So if you have got some keywords that are making sales with lower ACOS and total ACOS within those criteria, what do you do with that? Do you increase the bid on those and try and make some more sales? So, the answer is yes. That sounds like a good thing to do. So, for something that sort of seems obvious and good that it's working, it doesn't mean that you just leave it be and don't do anything with it. You've got to keep pushing it. So you also might have keywords that have received clicks but haven't received any sales. So you've got to be thinking about at what stage do you actually pause that keyword. And a general rule of thumb is if you've had, say, 20 clicks and you've had no sales, then that's probably a good time to give up on it and pause that keyword. Another example is, do you have keywords that are not getting any impressions? So, you just don't leave them, just not doing anything. So one thing you can do is you can try and raise the bid to see if that helps. And the real reason you're not getting any impressions is your bid's just too low. And you could also have keywords that have got a high ACOS. So you don't necessarily just give up on that keyword. So one thing you can do with that is lower the bid and see if it comes back to around that 30%. And if it doesn't, then you would pause that as well. But the thing is that you need to be watching all these things that are happening within your campaign and work out what you're going to do in different situations. And you've got to watch other things like your campaign budget. Is it sufficient, or do you have too many keywords in the one campaign? And a good proportion of your keywords just aren't getting a run because you're running out of budget. So there's a lot of options for managing the PPC campaigns, and if you don't keep that in control, then it's quite easily and quickly can start eating up your profit. So in summary, the three things of potential mistakes is, buying products in a low demand niche, buying products in a high competition niche, and underestimating the PPC management.
I think, Len, what we need to do is get you back, but to go through the PPC explanation with a visual as well, because PPC is one of those things what really visually it's great to see that too. So I get where you're coming from, but and there's so much in that, what you've just done in 5 minutes. I think that's probably 30 minutes of you kind of showing us on actually a PPC and exactly how to do that. Are you guys interested in getting Len back to go through some PPC and talk to us more about how to do that and give you a little bit of a visual idea of how to do that too, so you can see what he's up to? Yes, yes, please. All right, lots and lots of yes, pleases. So Len, that's it. I've roped you in to come back and to go through a PPC campaign and talk everybody through it.
Okay, sounds good. Yep, and you're right. I did have to try and trim that down.
No, it's all good, mate. I know it's great to try and get something. You know what it speaks to is the depth of knowledge that you've got. So it'd be great to get you back and show everybody exactly how to do that. I'm sure that what I can see already, everybody's super keen for that. So we'll definitely have to have you back, mate, and get you go through that.
Okay, sounds good.
Massive thanks, Len. Really appreciate that, mate.
Hey, Neil here. Just before you go away, that was a question that I got asked on my regular Monday night Q&A session, which I have with the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. So if you're interested in joining us as an Aussie Online Entrepreneurs, then you can click on the link below to find out a lot more about that. And also, as a special thank you for watching this video, I've got a great book that I want to give you for free. It's a current bestseller on Amazon, and it teaches you everything that you would need to know about starting a business here in Australia on Amazon. So you can see that just up there. So if you'd like to get a copy of that for free, then again, just click on the link below and you'll get a copy of that. You'll get taken to a page where you can get a copy of that for absolutely free. Hope you enjoyed that little snippet from one of my Aussie Online Entrepreneur Q&A sessions, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel and also like this video. And if you've got a question that you would like answering, then post it in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer it, whether on one of these videos for you or directly in the comments directly below. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the next of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs Amazon FBA Australia videos. See you soon.